Hello fellow orchid lovers, it's Danielle here with a care collab video on my Pathiopedilum orchids. I will list in the description of this video the other channels participating and hopefully be able to provide the links there as well so you can check out how other growers in different parts of the world grow this type of orchid. So I originally purchased these two Pathiopedilums as an experiment. As many of you may know, I grow in water culture or hydroponically, and I wasn't sure if these orchids would actually thrive in this method. So I didn't want to start off with too many, so I just got two relatively inexpensive ones and decided to see if I could get them to grow. As many of you are aware, this particular orchid is considered a semi-terrestrial orchid, which just basically means that instead of being epiphytic and attaching to the side of a tree, like a Phalaenopsis, they are oftentimes found on the forest floor amongst leaf litter. So this particular type of orchid, as you can see, they don't have the pseudobulbs that other orchids have, and they don't have extremely fleshy leaves like a Phalaenopsis would have. And so they need a more steady source of moisture because they don't have those reserves that some of the other orchids would have. So one of the things that you're going to want to make sure, and one of the reasons why I was concerned that water culture might not be the best method for these, is you want to have a steady supply of moisture, not damp, but moisture, so that you can make sure your plant doesn't get dehydrated. So what I did is I just kind of took the method that I use for my Cattleyas and I tweaked it for my Pathiopedilums. So what I have here is on both of my plants, I took them out of their outer cover so that we could maybe look at their roots a little bit better. So what I did is I potted them in the glass beads, but then in the glass beads, I wove this microfiber so that the microfiber could provide a source of humidity inside the glass. So this particular orchid is called Pathiopedilum Warden. And as you can see, it's got a pretty healthy root system. It does need a little bit of water. Microfiber cloth is not dry, but it's close. So I do need to water this plant. But she's doing really well. She grew this fan in my care. There was another fan that died off. She grew this fan in my care, and then she also, I've had her for a couple years now. She also put out this bloom in December sometime. It's now March, so this has been around for about 3 months, and as you can see, it's barely holding on for this video. But it is holding on, and it has been in bloom for quite a while. So she's doing really good. And then this is my Pathiopedilum American Beauty. She has also bloomed for me. And then she started to put out two growths, but then the fan that bloomed died back. So she looks like she's overpotted, but she does have a pretty significant root system. And there was a very large fan here before it died back. She also does need some water. Now, as far as light levels are concerned, they're considered a quote-unquote low light orchid. I do grow them in kind of a little bit more light. I moved them over there to film, but they're typically right in that little pocket right there. And there is quite a bit of light that comes from the grow lights above them. So I do actually give them probably a little more light than most, but they seem to enjoy it. Now, as far as fertilizer is concerned, if you hear that noise, that's my dogs playing in the other room. As far as fertilizer is concerned, I just fertilize them the same as I do my other plants, which is a very weak solution every week. So not a heavy solution, just a very weak fertilizer solution every week. And then every month, I try to flush the pot really good with RO water so that if there's any accumulated salts, they will flush out. So that's how I take care of my orchids, my Pathiopedilum orchids in water culture. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, as far as temperature is concerned, the mottled leaf Pathiopedilums, which is what I have, is considered a moderate temperature. So it's not considered a cold Pathiopedilum or a particularly warm growing Pathiopedilum. They kind of enjoy the same temperatures that humans enjoy. And so my grow room is typically especially this time of year, it's the winter. This is actually a little warm. I don't know why it says it's, oh, probably because the sun's out today, finally. But typically it's no colder than 60 degrees in here at night. And then during the day, as you see, depending on if the sun is out or not, the temperature goes up and down. But they're not right against the glass. They're set pretty far back, and there's a constant fan running, so they don't really get really high temperatures. And so far, so good. Like I said, I started this off as an experiment because I wasn't sure that they would even do well in hydroponics or water culture, and they have. So I hope that that was informative to you. If you are thinking of, if you grow in water culture and you are thinking of growing Pathiopedilums, this seems to be a method that they actually do enjoy. As you can see, they do have, you know, mine do have a good root system. It's a little harder to see in here. There is a root right there, but it's a little hard to see. I do also put covers over the outside to try to cut down on the algae. As you can see, there is some algae, but it would be a lot worse if I didn't cover the outside. I just take socks and cut them and put them over the outside, you know, old socks that have holes in them, so that I can protect them from the algae a little bit, because it is very bright in here. So if you have any questions, please certainly leave it in the comments and I'll try to answer it as best as I can. Again, please check out the other videos that are in the description, because you'll get to see people all over the world growing these and their methodology for doing so. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will talk to you all next time.